Hi, today I want to talk about 3 possible reasons why you might be constantly hungry using a plant-based diet, and of course I'm going to offer you some solutions to fix this. Does this happen to you? You've just eaten and yet after an hour or so you are so hungry. It's so frustrating. And the cravings. Often I used to think, I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Well, no, most likely there's nothing wrong. Now, although there might be many reasons for it, and some of it might be genetic, it can't always be fixed with just eating more and more food. And if you stick around with me until the end of the video, I'll give you a tip that has been scientifically proven to really work. You may have read about it before, but you couldn't quite work out why it works or how it's done properly. So stick around and I'll share that with you. But first, let me get the most obvious thing out of the way: why you are hungry. If your meals are always toddler-sized, or you are using one of the latest perfect fad diets, then well, yes, obviously we don't eat, we get hungry. That's what happens, especially by the end of the day. Let me know in comments if this happens to you. So you wake up in the morning and you're all positive and you're going to do everything right. You're saying a perfect breakfast, a lovely lunch, a lovely light afternoon snack, but by mid-afternoon you're really hungry. You come home, you're trying very hard to have a good dinner, and then 1 hour after dinner, you're hungry again. You're out in the kitchen, looking around for food, ripping the fridge door open, and wondering what on earth can you eat that's not going to undo the entire day. Hit that like button if this sometimes happens to you. The same thing may occur when you've been on a very strict diet and you've lost some weight. Your hunger hormones crank up big time. Their job is to make you really hungry so that you replenish all the hard lost weight. And sadly, they often push you to put on even more weight than you've already lost. So try this instead. Ditch the fad diets and ditch the toddler-sized meals and have yourself some proper adult-sized meals. Meals that will keep you full for around 4 hours. That's what we're aiming for. The idea is to serve yourself generous-sized meals with low calorie counts that keep you full and satisfied. And if you want to find out more about healthy weight management and hunger control, click that subscribe button so that you can see my future tips. But back to your stomach. Did you know that your stomach has got receptors in them that notice that you've had a mini meal? If that was the case, and you've had a mini meal, it refuses to send the fullness signal to your brain. So to trick your stomach, eat a salad before your main meal and a simple vegetable soup. Fill your plate up with lots of low-calorie vegetables, plus all the other things, and then your stomach receptors will send the brain the message that you are full. And if you take care to have a balanced meal, that will be even better. Balanced? What does that actually mean? And this is where we get to the next reason why you might be hungry even after you have just eaten a meal. If we don't add certain components to our meals, the meal gets digested way too quickly and it leaves your stomach very fast. That's called fast gastric emptying, and that causes hunger. And no matter how big the meal was or how many calories it had, if it wasn't balanced, it will go through the stomach very quickly and you end up being hungry. Therefore, the key components to a balanced meal are some protein-rich food, and that can be any beans, tofu, tempeh, seitan, anything that is rich in protein. Plus, the other magic component is a little bit of fat. That can be a couple of slices of avocado, a few nuts or seeds, or even a few olives. If you leave these 2 components away, it's very easy to get hungry too quickly. A similar issue can occur when your meal is just mainly starchy carbs with a few flecks of vegetables through it. Let's say you're having a big bowl of pasta with an Italian marinara sauce. What happens? The carb load for most of us is too big, especially if there is no protein or a good fat in it. The food will leave your stomach very quickly, give you a blood sugar spike and an insulin spike. Insulin gets rid of all the blood sugar, and then you've got nothing left and you're hungry again. Therefore, modify your carb intake. You don't leave it away, you just have to choose the right portions. A good way to start is take your plate, fill half of it up with low-calorie vegetables, a small handful of starchy carbs, like 1/3 to 1/2 cup cooked starchy carbs, and 1/2 cup of cooked legumes or tofu or tempeh, a little fat, don't forget a little bit of fat, and you'll be just fine. Now let me share that tip that I promised you at the beginning of the video. This particular tip has been proven scientifically many times over and over. Before each main meal, about 15 minutes beforehand, have 2 glasses of water. Sometimes when we're dehydrated, our brain sends the wrong signal and says we are hungry. But that's not the main tip. Add 1 teaspoon of any type of vinegar into each one of those glasses. The glasses of water should be 250 mils, 1 teaspoon of vinegar in it. Drink that down and then have your balanced meal about 15 minutes after. The magic component here is the vinegar. It helps to delay the exit rate of the food from the stomach. And this in turn helps to blunt the blood sugar and insulin spikes, keeping you fuller for longer. In most studies, it blunted the blood sugar spike by about 20%, which is fantastic. This keeps you from becoming too hungry again too quickly. Therefore, drink this 3 times a day, just before each main meal. Sit back and see what happens. And if you're like the participants in the study that I have read, they lost 5 pounds more than those people that didn't use this vinegar trick. It took them 3 months. It might not sound much to you, but I think every little bit counts, doesn't it? So 5 pounds extra just by using this water and vinegar trick. But don't drink the vinegar neat. That hurts your teeth. I'll see you next week with an additional tip that you may not have heard about either. I'm using that in my Facebook group with those ladies that are really hungry and none of the previous tips have worked for them. I'll see you in the next video.